Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show is a Senior Business Development Manager, Study Now, Halima Lawan, and also we have the Head of Global Student Recruitment, York St. John University, United Kingdom, Roosevelt Abbey, to be joining us to share with us about this admission opportunity for Nigerians. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. So let's start with the York St. John University. Why is it the right choice for Nigerians to make at this time for their university education?
Oh, thank you. We are a university based in the UK. From our name, it's easy to tell where we are based. Our main campus is in York, which is a city in the north of England. Very historic. It's been there for over 2,000 years. And then that's the city. So the university was established in 1841. And then we also have a modern campus in London where, there are different programs. So there's actually a balance. Like there's the historic side to the city of York, and then there is a modern campus in London. So why students should come to York St. John University? We do have very modern, interesting, programs that we offer in, 2 different campuses. In London, for example, you would have modern programs like data science. Everyone's trying to go into the media, digital marketing, public health and programs like that. And then in York, you'd have most of our undergraduate programs. So we do have undergraduate and postgraduate programs in York St. John University. And on student side, we do have we're 13th in the UK for overall teaching quality out of 135 universities. Oh. And for student support, we also rank 13th as well in the UK. And 95% of our graduates usually go into further studies or graduate level employment. So it's actually a good institution for students to come and study.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when I see universities abroad coming to market to us here, I always have this mindset that they are coming for the rich, right?
Yeah.
Because we still have a lot of people here who are struggling to even find their way into the universities here. And
yes.
I'm going to be asking, are there scholarship opportunities for Nigerians? Or you're going to have to cough out the full bill, the full fees? Are there's something you're doing to make it easy for Nigerians to have access to this St. John
York St. John.
York St. John, yeah.
No, we expect people to pay the full fees. And
wow, no scholarship. You're kidding.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't offer in terms of when people say scholarships, when you hear like big scholarships, we don't offer that much. That's because our tuition fee is very competitive already. So we don't do like agile pricing where you hear the tuition fees 25,000 and then we give you a 5,000 scholarship and you end up paying 20,000 anyways. We don't do that. Our tuition fees, it ranges from £11,800. So it's already very competitive. So there's no need to offer additional scholarships for like our postgraduate programs, for example. But our undergraduate programs, we issue and we offer like a £1,000 scholarship bursary for our students. And in terms of payment, we allow students to pay 50% before they enroll, and to get their cars, and then they pay the other 50% would be in like 3 equal installments. So for students coming in September, for example, they'll pay 5,900 before they enroll, and then the other 5,900 they'll pay in 3 equal installments. So they come in September, so they'll have nothing to pay in September, October, November. First installment would be in December of 2025 this year, and then the next installment would be February of 26, and then the last installment would be in May of 26. So it's actually, very, very well spread. And we understand, the Naira crashed a couple of years ago and hasn't recovered that much. So we also put something special for Nigerians. So we allow Nigerians to pay £3,000 to get the cars and then go through the visa process. And then the other balance of 2,000 plus, we allow them to pay before they enroll. Okay. And that's only open to Nigerians. That's because we know, there are struggles with the currency situation here.
Ms. Halima, Study Now, what is the mission of Study Now and how have you been facilitating international education opportunities?
Thank you. So Study Now is an international recruitment agency, and our mission is to technically make the admission process as seamless as possible. So as a student, once you come in, We want to listen to you. We want to guide you through the whole process and also help you through that process in a seamless manner. So once you come on, we have to listen. We technically have counselors, because once you come into study now, for example, we assign each student or client to a counselor that will guide you through. And upon getting to the UK or before even departure, we always have a training that we tell them, oh, these are the things you're going to expect when you get to the UK and all that. And once they get to the UK, our head office is in London. So we'll also have our team in London that will welcome you in and also help you through the process. So we've been in existence for like 5 years now, and we've been able to convert enough students because we pamper them. From my own experience, a couple of years back, I would have definitely loved to study in the UK, but I didn't have the energy to go search, pick the school and all that. So if I had actually met an organization like Study Now before then, I would have technically gone with them, because the process and all is for free, the guidance is for free, and they'll do everything. I just cross my hands and I get to the UK and I still get that support throughout. So that's technically our mission, is to make that process as seamless as possible.
Okay, so why was York St. John chosen for this particular edition of the fair? And also, what do attendees hope to expect when they're walking into this affair on that day?
All right, so we chose York St. John technically because in as much as we understand that you'd love to study in the UK, we also understand the fact that you should look for something that is affordable and flexible. And York St. John has given us that that drive, because the tuition fee is 11,800, and the payment structure, like Roosevelt has said, is really good. Imagine paying £3,000 to get your CAS and your visa upon enrollment. You have the 3-month span to actually be able to work and school at the same time before you start making your payment structure. So technically, that's why we made them a strong, we made York St. John one of our major partners, to be able to push it out and tell students, oh, the fact that you want to study abroad, you don't have to break the bank. You can actually have this payment structure and it will help you. And for the fair, of course, when you come in, you have the opportunity to meet Roosevelt, which is the representative of the university. You have the chance to meet Study Now representatives that would give you a one-on-one counseling and guidance and on-the-spot offer. Because if you have your credentials there, we can actually put in an offer immediately. You get your documents and we now tell you, oh, you may have to go through this interview process and all, and guide you to point of entry.
Roosevelt,
I've been through the journey as well myself, so I understand what it's like, leaving home as a 17-year-old to go and try to, go and visit another country and try and get a degree. So I understand. So I also put my own experience as well when I do counsel these students.
Sorry, let me ask about the age limits. Can you get into the university from the age of 16?
No, you cannot. Well, you can, but at York St. John University, we take students at 18, because if you take students before they turn 18, you would need some sort of a child license or something.
Oh.
But if you're turning 18 that year, say you're turning 18 in, say, December of the year you're starting your program, which is usually maybe 2 months, program starts in September, then we might be able to accommodate you, yeah.
Can you speak on career prospects for Nigerian students when they come to St. York?
Yeah, as you know, the university, the UK in general, would give post-study work visa to international students that have finished their degree programs. That would allow them to do some kind of work, full-time work, when they finish their qualifications. But for us, 95% of our students either go into further studies or full-time employment. And we do have teams that support students. We have a placements, a careers team, where they look through student CVs, they support them. Sometimes the expectations, the kind of things that people put on their CVs here might not be relevant to the UK, or the things you put in the UK CVs might not be relevant here. So you have that team that would guide you, support you. And our teaching as well, our programs are actually designed in collaboration somewhat with employers. So employers, yeah.
When is the fair? When is it? What day? What time?
So we have different fairs, because normally when we come in for the fairs, we always have it at different locations. We have it in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kenya, and Ghana. Sorry. So on the 19th of April is that for Lagos at 4 Point by Sheraton, VI. Then on the 26th is that of Abuja. That's the York St. John Study Now Fair. And we have the 3rd of May for Port Harcourt, and the 10th of May for Ghana, and the 24th and 31st of May for Kenya. So we have one in Nairobi and we have the other one in Eldoret, Kenya.
Yeah.
So of course you're all invited.
So well, beyond the fair, what ongoing support does Study Now, give to students before and after securing the admission?
Honestly, we work 24/7 because technically once you have a student, you're automatically a counselor. So at any point in time, the student calls in or sending a message, Ma, I need to get this and that. You need to be at their beck and call to actually tell them, oh, this is the next stage, this is what. So we support them through the whole process. And because of that support that we've given them, majority of the students, once they get to the UK, they still go back to refer. And we really work on referrals because the fact that we give you 100% customer service for free, right? It makes people bring more people back in. So technically, we are always there 24/7.
They always say when it comes to Nigerians, there's a factor. So what has your experience been with Nigerian students, and do you have any alumni stories you want to share?
Oh yeah, Nigerian students, I would say Nigerians are really smart people. They ask questions a lot, which is something that is very important because imagine yourself going to a different location. It's very important to be aware of where you're going to. So sometimes you have some students that are like, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Imagine you're in Port Harcourt and you're coming to Lagos for the first time. There's certain things you need to understand: the location, how much you're supposed to spend, how close is the school, or how close are, how you work with transportation and all that. So when they ask questions like that, we tend to update them with it. But in as much as you also update them with that, they still tend to forget. So that's why once they get to the UK, you have the UK team that are there to also still support them.
So do we just show up at the fair, or do they have to register first before coming?
Oh, definitely, they can register. And how do you register? You technically go on any of our websites. That's www.studynow.org.uk or
No, I want to say that slowly.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. That's www.studynow.org.uk or any of our social media platform, be it Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. You get a link, you just click on it, and automatically you can register.
Okay, fantastic.
Is it free?
Oh, it's free of charge.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thank
for coming.
you.
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you so
No
much.
worries. Thank you.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.